Hi you guys, happy Vlogmas. This is day 5. I skipped day 4 because I was out buying the stuff that I'm gonna need for all of these little crafty ideas, and I didn't get home in time to make a video. So I'm going to kind of do this in projects so that if you want to do any of these projects, you can go and get them or kind of gather them if you may have this stuff in your home. I'm going to tell you what they are. Obviously I don't have pictures of them yet because I haven't made them yet, but if anything kind of sticks out to you and you think that you might want to make one of these are some of the ideas that we're going to be doing. So the first one here is going to be a lantern, and this stuff, besides the snow, your Dollar Tree may have something that looks like this, which is this fake snow. It's not, you don't have to have this, but I am going to put some of this in my lantern when I'm done with it. And it's just this frosty snow plastic stuff. You don't have to get this kind or anything, but I did get this at Michael's. You might be able to find it at your Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree is kind of small, but I have heard of people getting this at their Dollar Tree. Plus I went to my Dollar Tree on a Sunday when the shelves were pretty empty, which probably wasn't the smartest idea, but that is the only time I had to go, was after church, and so I got what I could there. Then I skipped over to Michael's, and then I skipped over to Target. So I wasn't able to get everything that I needed, but I did get this because this is going to be a lantern. I got these little storage containers. There's 8 of them in here. They're not very big, but I am going to put these on the bottom of my lantern as feet somehow. I may, or I may not. I still have to find a bottom, some sort of a bottom for my lantern. So I got those, and I got 5 of these certificate of achievement frames. Okay, and let me tell you the size because it doesn't tell you on the actual frame. It looks like they are 9 1/4 by 12. From the outer side and the outer side. Well, no, I'm sorry. They're 9 1/2. 9 1/2 by 12. Okay, so I got 5 of them. If you want to do the top of your lantern, you're going to need to get an extra one. If you don't want a top on your lantern, then you only need to get 4. Okay, 1 for each side. So if you're interested in making the lantern, then you'll need to get 5 of the certificate frames. Now if you want to make a smaller lantern, you can get any frames that you want. Just make sure that they've got a flat edge, because we are going to be hot gluing these together, and it has to be a flat frame. They can't be rounded on the edges. They have to be flat because they are going to be glued together. Okay, so that is going to be one project. Okay, another project that I'm going to be doing are snowmen made out of socks. So I got my socks from the Dollar Tree. You get 2 pairs for $1. These are the men's tube socks. So I got 2 packages of these, and they're the men's tube socks. I also got 2 packages of the children's, which I only have 1 here, so there must be 1 hidden in another bag somewhere. Okay, and then I also got some colored socks for their hats. Okay, you can, if you don't want to buy socks, you can use some old socks that you've got around the house, as long as they're not real grimy. We're going to use the top part of the tube sock So, you know, as long as they're not real grimy and old looking, you can use those. You will need rice. I didn't bring the rice in here because if you're going to make a lot of them, you're going to need a big bag of rice. If you're not going to make that many of them, then you don't need, obviously, a big bag. But I have a 20-pound bag of rice. So I have that. I got some jingle bells. I've got some little rhinestones for their hat. I've also got some white yarn to make some little tassels for their hats. Just whatever embellishments. But the main ingredient are socks. Okay, white tube socks are the main ingredients, and then you'll need some kind of strong twine, or some people use rubber bands. I don't like rubber bands because you know how rubber bands get old and then they deteriorate and then they break. Well, I want mine to last year after year, so you can use white embroidery thread. You don't even really need to use white because you're gonna be covering up where you tie it. So you'll need some kind of strong twine. And yeah, that's it. And then you can use felt, you can use colored socks, but the main ingredient are white socks and rice, okay? And then whatever other embellishments you want to use. So that is going to be another project that we do. And then another project that we are going to do is a countdown tray. Now these trays are kind of a metal. They're not a really heavy dew metal, but it's a silver metal, plasticky silver. I don't know what they're made out of at the Dollar Tree. It's some kind of a metal, aluminum. And we are going to make a countdown plate with this, okay? So what you'll need is some kind of a plate. Now you don't need to get this plate, get whatever you want. You may have a plate that you already have, like a charger plate that you put down on the table that you put your dish on, a dish, anything that you want to paint. You'll need some chalk paint, a piece of chalk. I happened to get these at Michael's because they were on sale for $8. They're 8 chalk marker set. And we are going to make a countdown plate with this. So chalk paint, I got paintable. These do come in, you can get chalk paint in spray can to where you can, you know, tape this off and then spray it on there, but I chose to get the paintable chalkboard paint. Chalkboard paint, not chalk paint. You want chalkboard paint because this is going to turn into a chalkboard right here. And then we can do a countdown, like 21 days till Christmas type of a thing, okay? And then we're going to put it on a plate stand and put it on a table, and your kids could have fun writing on this. You can put little gems on this, and this doesn't have to be Christmas specific. It can be for any holiday. It can be for any kind of announcement on your table. It doesn't have to be Christmas specific. It can be for any special occasion. It can be on your table year round, anything, okay? So that is going to be another project that we do. Another thing that we're going to do are candles. So what you're going to need for this project are pillar candles, tissue paper, which I've already got. Okay, so this is just regular Dollar Tree tissue paper. These pillar candles are at the Dollar Tree. Okay, you get a candle for $1. These are unscented. You have to look because usually they're down on the bottom shelf or the second to the bottom shelf in the candles. They have all the pretty smelling candles up above, but they do have these down at the bottom. So open up your eyes and look down lower for these, but they're unscented pillar candles. Kane just jumped up here. He wants to say hi. And you're going to need some ink. Preferably you're going to need some ink, some stamp inks. There he is. Like a StazOn or something that dries really well. And you don't have to make these Christmassy. You can make them for any time of year. So while I was at Michael's, I looked in their $1.50 stamps, and I love this one because you guys know that faith is one of my favorite words. They have this one that says faith and love, which my kitty's giving me loves right now. So I picked up this stamp, and I picked up this Merry Christmas stamp, which was on sale for $3. I don't have any Christmas stamps, I don't believe. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to stamp this on the tissue paper, and we're going to adhere it and make stamps, really beautiful stamps out of these and tissue paper. So if you're interested in doing that, making our own beautiful candles with tissue paper and stamps, then gather your supplies or collect your supplies for this project, and I will show you how to do it. I'm going to push my kitty off of the table. Kitty.
Yeah, and I do this where I have some room to watch.
We are going to do a project with these styrofoam balls. So what you're going to need for these are, and I don't have all the supplies, but what you're going to need are these styrofoam balls. I got these at the Dollar Tree. You get 3 for $1. And I got this size, which are the 2.4 inch. And then I've also got some that I already have on hand that I've had for a while, which are again the 2.5, and I think I got these at Hobby Lobby. They were $3.99 for 6 of them. Okay, so you're going to need some of these, and you can do this a couple of different ways. You can use straight pins that you use for sewing, straight pins, or you can use a toothpick and punch the holes in there. And you're going to need fabric, muslin, any kind of cotton fabric, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a plain fabric. But what we're going to do is make rag balls. We're going to make rag balls, and we're going to cut our fabric in 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 inch squares, and we're going to make rag balls. So you're going to need some cotton thin fabric, and you're going to need some straight pins, or you're going to need some toothpicks and glue, and then you're going to need some jute or some type of twine to hang these from.
And hot glue.
Okay, but the main thing is the fabric and your styrofoam balls. Okay, so if you want to be involved in making this project, then you might want to go out and get your styrofoam balls and make sure you've got some rags or some remnants of fabric for this one. Another thing that I'm going to do is just a simple wreath. Now I went to Michael's and I just got some really basic things. As you know, Michael's is having a great sale right now of 50 to 70% off of all of their stuff. So I got a few picks. They had these berries. Oh, I did, for the candles, I did get this snowflake stamp as well. I got some.
Be gentle to them. Remember, you know how you make that other one?
I got some ribbon that has the wire in it. So I'm just going to make a really simple wreath, and I'm going to show you how I make my bows with this wreath or with this ribbon. I had a request from a friend to show her how to make just a simple type of bow because she wants to put bows on her Christmas tree, but she's kind of lost on how to make those. So I'm also going to show you how to make simple bows with this type of ribbon. I'm actually going to do that for her today, so stay tuned for that video to come up after this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to just make a very simple wreath. I got some jingle bells. I got some ribbon, this ribbon, because what I'm also going to do with this is we're going to make some angels, some ribbon angels. And so what you need for this are some of the smaller bulbs.
Got some big directions.
Yeah, will you get one of those smaller bulbs? Brooke's going to bring one down so I can show you.
And got some paint.
I already showed him this.
I want to get them out for you, Grandma.
So anyways, while I was at Michael's for my wreath, they had this piece. They had these sitting, you know, when you're checking out all of those tempting items. They had this, so I thought that I would put this on my wreath. It was 70% off. So I thought I could make ribbon angels out of this. I thought that this was kind of cute. It's kind of burlappy here, and then it's got the lace in the middle. I got these at the Dollar Tree. You get 9 feet for $1, so I got a couple of those. I've not seen these at the Dollar Tree before.
Let's go to fire.
Anyways, you want the smaller, and I'm probably going to have to go get some different ones, but because I don't know, this one might be too big. You want the smaller bulbs, and I think that you would probably want silver or gold. I don't think that you would want the red, and you can get the glittery ones, or you could get the muted metal colored ones, or the glitter, whichever you prefer. But you want some round bulbs. I think I might try to find some that aren't glitter. I think I want the more muted ones, and this is for the head of the angels. So I'm going to show you how to make those. And for these, what you need is pipe cleaner for the halos. You need some wired ribbon, and you need it to be 2 inches. And then you need a little piece of
some more really with this. And some ribbon. Ribbon.
You need some
White
smaller ribbon that doesn't have wire in it, like a 5/8 inch or a 1/2 inch even ribbon to tie, and wired tinsel stems or pipe cleaners. Okay, so we're going to do those. That will be another project. And what else? I got pipe cleaners in a couple of different colors because we're going to do angels in a couple of different. So I'm actually going to go over to, we have a Family Dollar, and I'm going to go to try to find balls, because I actually forgot to get those.
Me and my sister went too.
And yeah, so I think that's all you needed for, you need a little piece of ribbon to go in the front of her. You need this for the wings and the body. You need the ball for her head, the wire for her halo. Oh, and then you need a little like 1/8 piece of ribbon for the hanger, or you could use twine, you know, or anything to hang it with. So yeah, that's what you need. Or these came with those balls. You could use something like this as well. So we're gonna do those. Let's see, what else did I get to do? Back up, sweetheart.
And you got these, Grandma.
I did find these at the Dollar Tree, and I didn't pick them up for anything specific, except for I thought that they would look really cute on my snowmen. If I don't use them for my snowmen, of course I'll use them for something else in the future. But aren't those the sweetest flowers?
Oh, yes.
Somebody was raving about this glue from the Dollar Tree, this Fix-All adhesive, on a video at the Dollar Tree, so I did get some of this. Instead of using the E6000, I thought that I would try this for some projects just to see if I liked it the same as YouTube said that it was just as good, and it's only $1 a tube, so I thought that I would give that a try. I did pick up a couple more of these candlesticks because they're good to have around, and because I did get a couple more of these bases to do a couple more projects. I wanted to do an etching project, so if you want to be involved with that, it's a faux etching project that we are going to use Mod Podge for. So if you want to do that, we are going to do Mod Podge and a fine glitter. So if you want to do that project, then all you'll need is one of these, Mod Podge, some very fine glitter, and stickers or a stencil. Okay, and we are going to do that. I'm trying to figure out, I want to do a tiered tray project. Now this one is a little bit more costly than the other ones, and I am working out trying to keep the costs down, and so I'm still trying to work it out. I was really unhappy when I went to the Dollar Tree and I wasn't able to find any kind of wood type trays, and then when I went to Michael's, I wasn't happy with their unpainted wood and not being able to find any kind of tray. My hopes went up when I went to the Target dollar spot, because I was able to find these mirrored trays with this unfinished wood for $5 a piece. Can you guys believe that? These trays were $5 a piece.
And you can paint it too.
Right, and we are going to paint these. So I got 2 of them, and my idea is that I want to tier these, right? So let me put it like this. I'm sorry, my camera's not high enough. But I want this to be tiered. It's still not high enough. So, because they're pretty big. How big are these trays? They are 13 by 10. So these are pretty big. But I want them to be tiered. I want one to sit on top of the other, but I need to find something to put in the middle of them to make them tiered. So I need 2 kind of candle pillars to do that. Something that's going to be very steady, sturdy, steady. And I do have some downstairs that I have in my basement, but I can't find them, is the problem. These candlesticks, obviously, for one thing, aren't tall enough, and they're not sturdy enough. The ones I have down in my basement are. They do have some at Michael's, but they're like $5 a piece, and I don't think they're going to be tall enough either. So this is something that I have in the back of my brain that I'm still trying to work out, and I'm still looking for something to complete this project with. So if you want to do this project with me,
it's okay, boy.
go to the dollar spot in Target and pick a couple of these trays up. And this will probably be at the end of this series, because it's going to take me a while. I'm going to continue to look, but I don't have it completely worked out in my brain yet. So they didn't have very many of these left, is what I'm trying to say. So if you want to do this project, you might want to try to find these trays, or keep your eyes peeled for something similar to this in your neighborhood. Okay, they're nice. I like how they're mirrored. And they're screwed, so when I paint these, I can take these handles off, paint it, and then put them back on, which I liked a lot. Sometimes when you buy that stuff, it's glued or something, so you would have to paint around it. So I was very pleased when I saw that there were screws on there that I could take them apart. So a couple of other things that I got just because they had this at the Dollar Tree. They had this eyelash fiber.
I like it. It's soft.
At the Dollar Tree. Now they had it in other colors, but I just got the gray. And there's quite a bit on here. It didn't have any kind of a label or anything on here to tell you, but this is a pretty good ball of this stuff. And I wanted to show you guys that they do have some eyelash trim at the Dollar Tree. So if you're looking for some on the cheap, run out and get some, because they had it in a few different colors. Not a great selection, but they did have a few. Also at the Dollar Tree, they had this wire garland ties. And it's just pieces of garland. It's like a pipe cleaner, but it's pine. So I got a package of that.
And a pack of these.
And then at the Target dollar spot for $3, they had these little wood veneer reindeer. They have them in the light and the dark. I've seen some YouTube videos where people are buying these shams at the Dollar Tree and using them as fabric to, I don't know, they cut them and they use them as snowy effects on different projects, to cover pillows, to make different things. So I thought, why not, Kim? Get a couple and see what you can do with them. So I did. I got a couple of these, and they're in the automotive section. They're super soft microfiber cloths. Okay, so I got a couple of those.
And a couple of these.
Yeah, I already showed them that. For my snowmen, I got these little gems. Now, none of the stickers or anything are on sale at Michael's right now, but I needed something shiny and glimmery and snowflake-ish for my snowmen, so I did get a couple of those. These were 60% off. These are Recollections snowflakes, so I did get a couple of these. I'm thinking about making a snowflake mobile. So I did get some of these.
And some of these.
I got some note cards. These, I believe, are blank, which I wanted blank. And I didn't see anything written on them. Oh, they do have a trim on them, which is fine. And they're blank on the inside. So I got a package of these. Because I think I'm going to do a project with some blank note cards. If you don't have blank, you can make your own. And then these ones just have a little Christmas tree. And these were in the $1.50 bin. Okay, and there's 6 pieces to each of those. What else? I think that's it, you guys. That's pretty much...
But you're not showing to this.
Bells. You got bells.
Not our bells.
All right, so that is it. I'm going to come back in a minute and show you how to make puffy paint for my snowmen, for my snock snowmen. For my sock snowmen, I did get puffy paint for their eyes and their nose and their mouth. You want puffy paint, or you can use the sewing pins that have the little plastic knobbies on the end of them. You can get those, but I'm going to use puffy paint for mine. So I got black and I got bright orange. So black for the eyes and the mouth so that it will look like coal, and orange so that I can make a carrot nose. Okay, so that's an option. If you just want to use the pins, the sewing pins, then get the ones that have the colorful ends on them, the little round colorful ends on them, and you can stick those in for the eyes and the nose. But I'm going to do puffy paint for mine. So if you want to do the snow people with puffy paint, then make sure you pick up some puffy paint, okay? And I think I have confused you all enough. So I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the entire world, and as always, God bless. Bye-bye.